recording snacks.
Ooh, what it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. Joker's in the building.
Yo,
In the
yo!
building.
I'm in the Hex. What's up?
It's
Ooh.
time for Spoiler Boys.
Boys!
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Let me just explain what's happening right here. So I'm sure some of y'all who are watching already know what Spoiler Boys is about.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? This is our opportunity to get in here. We're gonna talk about WandaVision. Specifically, we're gonna talk about episode 9. We are gonna talk about the series as a whole a little bit, but under the circumstances, considering that this is the last episode aired today, that what we have been doing is doing these recordings. The full 45 minutes to an hour has been going up on our Patreon, and only 15 and 20 minutes has been going up in MCU chat.
Mm-hmm.
We figured, you know what? Let's let the folks who haven't been seeing it in Patreon see what they've been missing. Let's just do it live. Let's do it live. Let's do it tonight.
Yeah.
Let's do it while it's hot.
Yeah.
And let's give ourselves a little bit of a break before we have to start doing this again.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah. All right, so why don't we just jump right into this thing
Cuddy,
here,
you don't
buddy?
understand the laugh that I had today. When it came to hey, look, I didn't even watch it yet. I'm sitting there working on my work computer, and all I see in the team's chat, nothing but trash emojis come across. I bust out in the tears, dying laughing.
Let me tell you how I was contemplating at 3:30, actually getting in my car and driving over to this man's house to double check and make sure that his livelihood was okay over there, because my man was.
I saw that. I was dying laughing.
What's up?
Oh, I know what that trash means.
Okay, listen. All right, so listen. Let me start by saying. The whole witness protection joint was a MacGuffin, dog. It was a MacGuffin.
Dog, that was
The
left.
whole time, Slim. Listen to me, dog. At the end of this, hey, for real, even listen. Let me just do this. Hopefully, by the fact that the name is what the name is, you completely understand that we are going into full-on spoiler territory.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's in the title.
At all. If you
Spoiler.
haven't seen WandaVision episode 9 series finale, unless you don't care if you get spoiled, this is not the place for you.
This is not territory. It's all over. Spoilers all over the place here.
Yeah. Listen. Mid credit scene. My man Agent Wu is bossing up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Over here. The pharmacy look like a good place to do medical. Y'all jump over here.
Mhm.
Business.
Man. Ooh.
Ooh, I like you.
You know what I'm saying?
Leadership look good on you.
Yeah.
Hey, boy, if you don't ask somebody where the witness protection is, Slim.
I think my man forgot about it himself, honestly. I don't think you.
I saw that happen. I was like, oh, let me find out we about to get it.
This is it. That was it.
Listen, this close, bro. I was this close. Dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, that joint was like 3:30 in the morning, sitting on the front of my seat, like, oh, they about to say it. Who is it? And it might be Ralph.
It could be.
I have a problem with Ralph. We got a lot to talk about, but I needed to get that off my chest. Witness protection is a MacGuffin. This is officially the worst thing Kevin Feige has done. This joint is worse than any Thor joint. It's worse than every dog. It's the
My dude had a handshake. Yes, he did.
They pulled a Mandarin with the Quicksilver joint, dog. Listen, hey Slim, I was about to get into that, dog. Why does this man have headshots in his house with his name on the bottom of the jump? Your name is Ralph Boner, bro.
Boner.
Bro.
Like he didn't even know his own last name.
Hold on a second, bro. You got headshots, dog.
Straight up. Straight up.
Who is this guy, bro? You know what I'm saying?
He just trying to be a supporting actor on the show.
That's
That's
a
all.
terrible headshot too, dog. It wasn't even a good headshot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this joint was out of control. All right, so yeah, witness protection was a MacGuffin. I'm hot. Me and Kevin Feige gotta have words. I'm upset. The But let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about this episode, where this episode picks up, and what's going on. At the end of the last episode, Agatha, had the boys on what actually looked like actual strings, bro. Like it looked like they had her up in the air. She actually had strings around them children's necks, which I'm not sure is completely safe, but I'll let the Screen Actors Guild handle that.
Handle that one.
And she's basically making it like well known, like Wanda is dangerous, like more dangerous than Wanda has been when Wanda was already about to whoop Thanos. Yeah. Like she's the kind of threat, like straight up tells her like the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
The Supreme, and I was like, yo,
we have a problem here, y'all.
Okay, you dropping big names like that. Okay,
you name drop the Sorcerer Supreme. Okay, so here's what for real is my first issue with this episode. Dog, where is Stephen Strange, bruh?
He just chilling somewhere. Like all this magic stuff happening. All this magic stuff happening
down the street.
And my man is not jumping. It's like, what's going on? Nothing.
Apparently, it's not high enough for his pay grade just yet.
What's up, Henry? It's not.
Could be wrong. Apparently, it's not.
Witch. But she hasn't. But she didn't become, like the Scarlet Witch until like the end. So like.
Right. But either way, it was a next level magical event that was going on. It's a huge giant hex with the whole top of the whole city, and you would think that my man would.
But whenever the probably Multiverse of Madness, probably we're like, okay, now you see him coming to step in. Should
have been stepped in.
The Multiverse of Madness doesn't happen for like a
He probably is. with my 200 rupees.
Listen. Henry, it's okay to be late, bro. You didn't miss much. We're good. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I have issues with the fact that like Agatha shows up and says she shows up on the strength of like she could sense Wanda's magic. I need to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Stephen Strange has to already be aware.
Oh, facts. In
some manner. Like he's seen her in action fighting Thanos. So he has to be aware, you know what I'm saying? That she has the kind of power that he has to be more aware, I would think, than Agatha is.
True.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like that just would make sense to me, dog. Like I feel like Wong would know. You know what I'm saying? How raw she is. Yeah, they could be doing their own thing. Second, how long was Wanda in there though? Was the length of the anomaly? Honestly, I think the anomaly is only a couple days. I think the anomaly is only a couple days. Like when this episode ends, as the hex is closing in on the house, it's nighttime for them. Like she's ending the episode. It's time to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like episode is over. I really think it's only a couple of days. If anything, I don't think it lasts but so long. Well, let me think. Nah, it has to be at least a week. It has to be at least 2 weeks. Because according to Hayward, she stole the body 9 days ago.
True.
Which means if nothing else, she was there 9 days ago. You know what I mean? And
she drove straight there after the body was stolen. She left there.
So you gotta figure
2 weeks after something.
About 2 weeks, right? Which puts us like a month and a week outside of the snap, outside of when everybody came back from the snap.
Right. Blip. Outside of Endgame.
Right. So here's the thing I was thinking. All of those people, like we see that moment where Agatha is able to like take Dottie, who actually is named Sarah, and turn off Wanda's magic on her. And she walks up to her and basically just starts saying like, yo, I got a daughter. Like she's 8. Can she meet me, like be friends with your kids? Like, can you please just let her out of her room, bro? Like they're being tortured, dog. Like they're being held the most hostage. Yeah. And Wanda is completely unaware. You know what I mean? That seems to be what's happening.
That's what her power was doing to people. She didn't realize the true extent of it.
Yes, Henry. I would say yes. The series is done because this was
series finale.
Series finale. Like there won't be a WandaVision 2. Like however this continues, it will happen in whatever the next shows and movies are.
In MCU fashion, it just goes on to the next show.
Because they renamed Yeah, because they renamed the episode. Because if you were up super early, like we were, like originally it only said the title was episode 9. Like it specifically said episode 9. But then later on in the day, they revised it to say the series finale. So almost like maybe they thought about it for it's like nah, this is ending on a high note. Just hit series finale. Right.
Let people know there's not a 10 coming behind this or anything like that. This is it.
Hey, listen. You know what? I think he was going to try to figure out who he is and what his place is.
Yeah.
And you know, to get himself in a place where he wasn't going to be controlled anymore, because I think he came to the realization that technically he is the original Vision.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's them, Brooks. They were the ones up at 4 a.m, 3 a.m. watching. I was still asleep.
No. Actually, that joint went up early. I've
been upset about witness protection for a lot of hours right now. I gotta know that joint been sinking in for quite some time. I'm steaming about it. Yeah. So like the fact that Agatha can actually turn off what's going on with all these people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Technically, when she wants to. And you kind of see Wanda get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with what's going on. Did Vision dip to the West Coast? He might have to.
Hey, man, my man had to go find himself. So, hey, I'm gonna go to the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows everything and still doesn't have any emotions, which is just like in the comic books. You know what I mean? Like the way they set this up, they definitely pull heavy from the comic books. They're doing some of the things, but obviously they have to put the MCU
change it up a little bit,
right?
Yeah, on it,
and it's still smooth.
Yeah, nah. I mean, they did a good job. I am picking on Feige because loopholes I'm not happy with. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how I do. But, you know, look, man, when they get into that first fight, and Wanda chucks a car.
Oh, just hurled that.
Those little blasts they were throwing at each other, them things are like they hurt.
I'm sure they did.
What are you crazy?
No, I'm just talking about like the sound and like the emphasis like that. The MC like just put on like, ooh, like I felt that one in my chest.
Probably did hit him with some fake paintballs or something. It's like, hey, look, we gonna hit you with these. It's so.
Yeah. Who knows, man? Vision could go anywhere. You know what I mean? I guess we'll probably see him pop up. I think before Multiverse of Madness.
Agreed.
He pops up somewhere else. Before that happens, that's my guess. But yeah, if he does go to the West Coast, it would make sense for picking off West Coast Avengers. I don't think they'll do it. They'll name it that. I don't even think they'll call the Young Avengers the Young Avengers. I think they'll call it something else.
Some other type of Avengers. I think so at this point now.
I think it'll just be the name of whatever the event is that they put place in, and then they'll you know say that they'll be in it, but it won't be called. You know what I'm saying? The Young Avengers or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, Slim. She dropped a car on Agatha, Wizard of Oz style, bro.
Oh, that was hilarious. As soon as they switched the camera and I saw her feet sticking out, I was like, "Yo, she ain't there. This is a straight Wizard of Oz joint, right?"
Here's what's crazy though. If you look, I can't even say the name, but the name of Agatha's mother from the credits, like the character she's playing, is the same name as the Wicked Witch of the West.
Really?
Yeah. Like she's named after her in the comic books. That's a thing.
Got it.
Yeah. So that was kind of a dope little, you know what I'm saying, little callback. Left Young in boots, just right in front of Ralph, bro. Ralph gonna come back and find that car in the front of his.
Oh, he gonna be upset. Oh, he was upstairs the whole time. Probably didn't even feel. It's like, oh, what was that? What was that?
Yeah. So like, I wish we got to see the kids do a little bit more.
Save it for later, probably.
Way later. I mean, they're definitely gonna be back.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to know. Wanda can straight up make vibranium. She can make vibranium. Like she built.
She did.
I mean, pretty much.
Because they were tracking vibranium signature the whole time.
Both of them though. Like when they're fighting.
They both showed up on.
Both of their blitz.
Yeah.
And they flying in the concrete and getting up like it's nothing. Like
they was getting it in. Dog.
It was a little bit of a fight. It was a little bit of fight. Hey, my man really tried to rip the Mind Stone right out.
No, I was like, yo, he's straight Thanos. He was like,
straightforward, huh?
I was like, we ending this now. We
My
just
man
ended
went
this.
straight to the kill shot. I ain't even mad at him. Yeah, dog. I don't like Quicksilver having headshots. I think I don't like that at all. I got, what do y'all think? How do y'all think this pans out? Obviously, the people who live in Westview are pretty upset with Wanda. But yeah, straight up, kids, take care of the army.
Take care of the light work. That was my light work. Take care of my light work right quick while I go take care of her.
Hey, y'all didn't feel like that joint was a scene right out of The Incredibles, dog? When they
straight up was.
Them,
yeah,
the whole family, and they got their little move right there.
Superhero-ish right there. The whole family lined up with putting their dukes up, getting ready to fight. Like, okay.
Hey, I'm cool with it.
I enjoyed it, but I was like, I see what you're doing. I enjoy it, though.
Yeah. How are you born for this? Y'all had one fight. Told me I was born for this.
Power philosophy.
So how do you think this plans out, man? Because obviously everybody in Westview is going to remember, and they basically have been held hostage for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they know that it's her. And there's no way. And there is, I can see there being some sympathy for her, because if they were all feeling her grief, then they do understand sort of what put them in that position.
Yeah.
Still, she caused them a lot of pain and grief. You know what I mean? Not being able to see your kids. The one lady's like, hey, my husband's on a business trip. Can you just tell him, tell him I love him, and tell him, like, just don't come back, though. You know what I mean? Like, and you gotta figure some of these people may have just been blipped back themselves.
Right into this.
We get blipped back. They're still trying to figure out.
Or literally just had their loved ones blipped back. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. It's crazy to think that could be a thing. And I wonder if that plays some sort of a part, going forward. I
think they're going to use this to try to pull some Sokovia Accord Act type thing or whatever after what she just did. And she's a fugitive now. And, I think all that stuff is going to come into play again.
Come back.
I feel like they're not going to have enough evidence to do anything to Hayward. I don't think he still ends up running sword, but I think he ends up in some position of power elsewhere.
Yeah, but he's not done yet.
With General Ross, you know what I mean? Or
kind of thing.
Like I mean, because technically he probably was, under orders, doing like, let me go take the vision out there.
Nah, I don't think he was on. I think that he was under what his agenda, what he wanted to do. That's a definite. He was doing.
Who knows? It could have been, what's his name? Good Lord, Nick Fury or somebody. No, like Nick Fury. Who knows? Like, could be Ross. Who knows? Like, who he answers to at the end of the day.
Nah, this was his. These were his decisions.
All right, look, I got a copy of Vision right here, ready to go. Let me send him in there to go take care of it.
Wasn't even a copy of Vision. No, I have Vision. I have the Vision.
But you see what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying.
And the president, president signs off of it, lets him go in. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
It could absolutely be the catalyst for mutant hate, for sure. Hayward seems like he's shaping up to take the place of the person that would create the Sentinel program. You know what I mean? Against, we talked about that a little bit before. Darcy definitely did shoot an email or something so that Wu had all that information, but she ain't figured out who was in witness protection. So, it does feel like Thunderbolt Ross, though. It does feel like it could be shaping up to be Thunderbolts. You know what I mean? Or something like that, to just have active villains possibly going after people. But again, that would feel so much like Civil War when Civil War has already happened that I'm not sure how they would, you know what I mean? How they would swing that. Can't help but be kind of glad they didn't go in any of the directions we thought they'd go. There's a nice, but one of my thoughts, it's a little bit early already established music. I agree. You know what I mean? And then they announced today they're doing The Mutants. So clearly they're bringing it.
Yeah, it's coming.
The plan is there.
It's happening in some way. Hey, listen, I'm down with a Jimmy Woo Darcy spinoff. I'm cool with that. I heard that they were in talks, at least with Jimmy, to do a spinoff.
With these weird cases.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Maybe that's why we didn't get the witness, because maybe now they're like, ooh, let's just go ahead and hold on to that till they can have it. That's how the first episode goes.
You know what? I do have that.
I forgot my witness protection guy. Oh damn!
The show was about trying to track him down.
I hate it, bro. I hate it. They do have great chemistry, though. I do believe that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They announced today that they're doing literally just the mutants.
The mutants. That's it. That's all we know. The mutants.
And so they're doing it. Obviously, it can't be. It's got to be like 4 years or more out.
Oh yeah.
With everything else that they have planned, so it'll be a while. I think they really will build up to that, and I think that Secret Invasion is going to happen before that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, clearly Skrull's still a thing.
Hey.
Oh yes.
Clearly Skrulls are still a thing. So, you know, I get. Listen, here's the thing. That's the second end credit scene. So 2 end credit scenes.
Right.
And when she says, I got sent by an old friend to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're up there. Obviously, you think it's Fury. It might not be Fury.
May not necessarily be.
It might have to be Fury. But for all we know, the person who's up there looking like Fury isn't. Could be a Skrull.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It could be anybody. What we know about Monica is that she is going to be integral to Miss Marvel.
Definitely.
Kamala Khan's story. She is integral to that. So we know we'll see her again in that. We know that Spider-Man Far From Home takes place like 8 months after these events. So that's a ways out. So anything that's happening now is all stuff that can be leading up just to that.
Mm-hmm.
And if that puts us in a position where we're going into Spider-Verse, then Multiverse of Madness coming after that only makes sense.
Okay.
Who else do we think might be a Skrull?
Oh, at this point, it's like anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, it could be Captain Marvel herself, but I don't think so because she doesn't seem to like Captain Marvel.
It seems like there's beef there.
She actually cracked a smile when you know they brought it up, so I didn't think it was Captain Marvel.
She cracked a smile to me at the idea of going back to space.
Back to space, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they specifically say he heard you
grounded,
and they said he. She said, I'm pretty sure she said he heard you was grounded.
I think it's either Nick Fury or what's her name, Talos, the other Skrull.
Right.
I think it's one of them two.
And it could be Talos. Like the last time we saw Talos, he was on Earth, but that was at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. And that's 8 months from now. So he certainly could be, you know what I mean, up there. But who knows what takes place between now and what happens in Spider-Man? You know what I mean? There's so much going on. Yeah. So basically, she has been. She's had so many names. Most recently, it's been Spectrum. But it's been Photon, like her mom's name was. I mean, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? We might have to replace him with little jokes. Her power set. So one of the things you see her do in the show is she can see different wavelengths of energy. She can see different spectrums of light. And her eyes change to the color of like whatever spectrum she's seeing. So they went to like that yellow at the end where she like slowed down the bullets as the bullets went through her. In the last episode, they changed to like a blue when she first walked through the wall. Not the last episode, the episode before that. She walked through the hex and she could see all the wavelengths or whatever around like the energy, around like the electrical lines and stuff like that. So she is a very, very powerful character, akin to like what Captain Marvel is. She is actually the original Captain Marvel. She was Captain Marvel before Captain Marvel was Captain Marvel. Can't stop laughing at how much some of us thought they'd be teasing Fantastic Four by now. We barely got them announced. But listen. I'm still convinced that they have referenced them.
Yeah, very subtly.
You know what I mean? And they'll be able to go back and say that somehow they were tied to the sword, but they don't really have to. You know what I mean? Like, again, we're thinking about where it is now. but they weren't building what we would consider to be the Baxter building by taking down the Avengers Tower. Again, that was at the end of Far From Home. So that's another 8 months from now.
Yeah.
So if whatever happened to them, it could happen between now and then. You know what I mean? We could see it happen, and then they need a place to put them or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I do have some issues with how the show ended. Like when Wanda seems to just kind of embrace, like, this is who I am. This is what I do. You know what I mean? And like disappears and then sneaks up behind Agatha and does her regular mind trick on her, brings her back to Salem, 1693. Like, yeah, and she has that fear in her system. And then they kind of turn on Wanda, like, nah, like what we were doing to Agatha was we were trying to prevent her from using essentially evil magic. But you are the one. You are.
We can make this exception right now.
She can wait. You are way more important to get rid of.
And that the subtle way that you start to see, like, her hands start to decay, like the same thing that happened to the witches when she absorbed their power over time. But I think I have issues with how Wanda set up the rooms in the hex. Like,
what, throwing the little joints everywhere?
I'm assuming
that's what I was thinking. Because a couple of her shots that she threw.
That's what she was doing, setting them up. She was throwing them at her, but she was making the rooms behind her.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It didn't seem like she was truly ready to pull that okie doke until Agatha said to her, "Oh yeah, by the way, that little deal we made." What's up, K Dizzle? That little deal we made, it don't really work like that. Like, once the spell is cast, like, that's it. You can't, like, change it. You know what I'm saying? Or fix it. And then she was like, "I knew you was gonna try to double cross me." You know what I mean? All right. I mean, I guess.
So probably maybe she's kind of set it up beforehand, knowing this, because like the only other time I can think of is when she was opening the barrier to kind of let the people out. I think that was really the only other time that she really truly interacted with the actual hex itself. So I don't know if that was something maybe she had thought about and kind of put into place just in case for whatever reason. Just going to bat with her just didn't ring. Because other than that, those were the only two instances I felt like that the hex could actually, or the runes were being able to be cast, and some huge runes at that, not no little small things like down in the basement, like
the biggest runes anybody has ever seen.
Oh yeah, I still think she was doing it in the fight, though. I think she was just learning and adapting as she was going along. She was
just throwing them randomly.
I don't think she was randomly, randomly. I think she was
kind of a thing.
Slowly getting a grip on, listen to Agatha, what she's saying, and putting stuff together. Like, okay, I know if I can just get these runes up, she can't do nothing, and then I got her, type of deal. So,
because you do see a couple of the blasts hit the.
Preferred if Agatha would have just dropped out of the sky because she ain't had magic anymore. Bro, I'm wondering. You know how I was like,
that would have been kind of funny, but then she probably would have died. Actually.
Trying to cast,
like, you know what? Nah. Maybe it was slowly going away. Like,
oh no.
No, she couldn't cast magic, but she clearly still had magic. Because it's after that essentially Wanda absorbs,
took it all back.
Agnes's power. She didn't just take it back; she was taking her power. Like, there was purple coming up out of her, turning to red and getting absorbed. And it is. What I ascertained from what happened was that she becomes the Scarlet Witch because she also got Agnes's power.
True.
Like, this was all part of the, like, Agnes's destiny. Intertwined with making Wanda into the
Agnes
Scarlet
told
Witch.
her, "You don't know what you've just done." When she sucked up all that energy, They're gonna be coming for you now.
Listen, straight up, I'm with you. Chaos Architecture with Wanda. Hey, look, put that joint. That should be a new show. That would be the show she get after that. Yeah, I'm not even like I don't know, man. Like that, I like the way that ended though, and the fact that Agatha is right where she's gonna need her because it feels like she's definitely gonna need her.
Yep, she just left her. Wiped in, she just come back and she can undo the hex on her and like, look, man, there's crap going down and I need you to teach me X, Y, and Z.
Her Loki, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Kristen. Hey, we talked about that because
that's exactly what it was.
Agatha's mom's name is the same as the Wicked Witch of the West. She's actually named after the Wicked Witch of the West. That joint was an actual callback directly to the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, obviously Vision is still out there.
Yeah.
So it looked like Wanda went back at the end of the episode to the like in the comics she goes to this mountain set, which is kind of like where she is raised and kind of learns. And it looked like she's back there, and the house that she's at, like the way they pan in to her, like sitting on the steps, waiting for the kettle, was literally like, oh, she's Thanos. Like she literally, it looked just like Thanos,
just alone in his cabin, just out there,
But she is also clearly. She had been already reading the book, and she has learned astral projection.
Yes, she has.
Like it's the same thing Dr. Strange was doing when he was learning and sneaking into the library past mom and reading the books or whatever.
My man was sleeping. My man was sleeping.
Like she had the rooms on the cabin, like so nobody knows. So nobody knows she's in there casting magic and learning.
Yeah. Like I felt that 100%. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like I feel like Dr. Strange should have been there immediately because I feel like my man, like, first of all, you have portals. So you could be anywhere in the world.
Anywhere, in a heartbeat.
Down the street, bro. Like, this is all happening, like, literally in your backyard.
I'm telling you, it's not on his pay grade just yet for whatever reason.
Here's what I'm thinking. Something else has to be going on that he's in the middle of dealing with.
Exactly.
Because that be my man is off dimension. He in another dimension right now. Something that he ain't on.
I mean, maybe. But clearly there's something else going on. Something with Mordo. Possibly something with, I mean,
you mentioned Spider-Man.
Know that he's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie in Multiverse of Madness, but he could certainly have something to do with Mandarin. You know what I mean? In the Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings thing. So there could be that's happening at the same time as when this is happening. That's totally a possibility. I do think we're going to see Skrulls in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, I think honestly, I think the Skrulls are about to be the catalyst between like all of these Disney Plus shows. I feel like they're just going to show up in each one of them, kind of really to establish once again that they are here. Like they're scattered throughout the world, and they're going to use these Disney Plus shows to kind of explore that. And then whatever movie, or like obviously we know Secret Invasion is going to be a show whenever that finally comes to fruition. Like all the pieces are going to be in place, and they're just going to start popping out the woodwork like crazy.
Up to it, so you got to sprinkle them in here there to keep that storyline in the back, so you know it's coming. We're ramping up to it, so you got to sprinkle them in here and there.
Yeah, I was also happy to see the Darkhold show up. I mean, I was the fact that Darkhold had been a major plot point in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
for the good while,
which was like side tied to the MCU. Clearly, that's not a thing anymore. Like they have clearly just been like, oh yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ain't even happening. Like that's like not 616. Like that's some other,
that's wherever else.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a canon in
when
they
jump through time, they went into one of the branched off eras, and then they're in the wrong place. So technically, they're just not there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder whether or not. I mean, like Brooks is saying, like Strange doesn't have the time stone. But who knows what that really means? Like with Loki's show coming in June, and him traveling through time, and the fact that Cap was supposed to be going back and putting the stones back where they were supposed to be. If Loki is traveling through time and Cap was traveling through time, who knows even if they cross paths at some point, and one of those stones does end up somewhere else. For that matter, it could be that Strange is off trying to get a time stone or something like that in some manner.
Probably figuring out how he can maybe go to like a future self, maybe whether it's the time stone has served its purpose in whatever timeline, so he takes it and extracts it from there somewhere that wouldn't necessarily affect the line that they're currently on, because obviously if you plug it, at least from the way they explain it, if you pluck it out of wherever it is, you get to that point in time, it's going to create the whole tangent and a whole nother branch of time on there for it. But there's going to be tons of things, or he just develops other time magic. Maybe somehow that's he just does.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to take just a brief moment to appreciate the kind of poet that Vision is.
Dude,
my man got bars.
I was about to say, he got bars.
Even when my man was my man knew he was about to die. It's like he was like, someone said that, it's a bad luck to look at someone in the darkness, whatever it was. I was like, hold on, calm down, Vision.
My man said I read somewhere. It's bad luck to say goodbye in the dark. She looked at someone was like,
shut your ass up.
You ain't getting this tonight, dog. You about to go away. Like,
hey, he was trying to get one last time before we get him out of there.
He was. It's like, I'm about to disappear now. So,
dog. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, you look. There's so much happening. Hey, listen, that would have been dope if it was.
I was hoping at least the voice. I was hoping.
I was waiting for him to speak. And
I was sitting up, so I was just waiting for him to just open up. And I was just like, oh, it's just a Vision without emotion.
It's just another Jarvis. It's just Jarvis again.
It's like, damn it, man. Another theory out the window.
I wanted to hear that so bad.
White Vision is terrible looking with regular brown eyes.
Oh, yes.
It was just
that is creepy looking, dog.
That joint is spooky looking.
That joint started out, I was like, ooh.
I'm like, man, regular Vision eyes didn't look like that. Like why did his eyes look like that? It's like he's dead inside.
He is dead inside. All the motion, he is dead inside. He's alive, but with all the memories and everything, I mean, they're back, but my man dead on the inside. He got all these memories and can't process them the way that you should be able to process them. He dead on the inside.
So, all right, so here's my thing. You're right. They did find a way to basically bring the Mind Stone back, because she said to him, like, he was like, what am I? She was like, you're the piece of the Mind Stone in me. Like, that helped create her, basically, which makes sense. Obviously, that means that in some way, shape, or form, there could be something still happening with the Soul Stone, because might I remind you all that at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, my man Adam Warlock is still in a cocoon somewhere, bro.
Yes, he is. Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much
His
so.
His only purpose is to be involved with a stone. That's it, dog. That's the other Kevin Feige flub, bro. What are you doing, dog?
Just imagine you in the room and just like, oh, damn, we forgot about Adam Warlock.
Right, like,
we destroyed the stone.
They did that at the end of that movie as an after credit scene and then never touched it. It has to be coming.
Nah, he gonna be in the Guardians Christmas special.
Exactly.
He just gonna pop out the cocoon singing. He gonna pop out the cocoon singing.
Hey, little Silent Night.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
You're right. My orders are to destroy the Vision. Straight up came through with that joint. Like, my orders destroy the Vision. He like, and listen,
you gonna destroy yourself.
In my head, it was like, nah. So you supposed to destroy you, bro?
Exactly.
That's basically what he said to him. Right.
And my man had to pull the theory out on him. It's like, I forget what the name of the thing was. Just like,
he messed his head up with that.
No, he was like, I need some elaboration.
He shut my man down in the middle of a fight. Like, somebody's trying to kill you. And you just be like,
I need you to elaborate.
Familiar with the Pythagorean theorem?
You know what?
Hold on a second. Let me think about that for a second. I need to
elaborate.
Break that down.
I need some more.
Break that down real quick.
John was making sense to him. Like, he was spitting those bars like, ooh, hold on a minute.
If they bring them stones back, I'll be upset. I'll be so upset.
I feel like
he gotta be in Captain Marvel, or he gotta be in Guardians. He gotta be in the next Guardians or something. Like, Adam Warlock has to be involved somehow. But then that means to me he's got to be involved either in something that's going on with the multiverse or something else that's happening with Skrulls. Like, the idea of Secret Invasion happening at the same time as the Multiverse of Madness is bananas. That's bananas, bro. Like, this, so much going on. Like people already have a hard time keeping up with all of what's going on in the MCU and tracking the timelines and whatever. But now that the movies are coming out and TV shows that are like in places that are outside or adjacent to things that happen in like the timeline, people are screwed, bro. Like one of the smartest things I think Disney has done is that now when you go on Disney Plus, you can actually search the MCU films by phase.
That's dope.
It shows you the phase, like here's this phase. This is phase 3 and 4. And it actually has WandaVision tied into phase 3 and 4. Like it shows it that way. Which is pretty dope. So I have questions now. When does Vision pop back up? What's the first thing we see Vision in?
That is a good question. I don't see him being Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I don't think so either.
Loki. I'm trying to think what comes after Loki.
TV show wise?
TV show or well. Yeah, I'm not gonna say movies because who knows, they'll be getting pushed back and like
doesn't matter. I mean,
it's not
at this point
though.
As far as I know, they haven't announced anything that's beyond phase 4 right now.
Yeah, everything is still inside
everything has been announced.
Other than like Blade.
Spider-Man.
You think Blade is supposed to be phase 5?
I don't think that's phase 4. I know they've announced, but I don't think that's phase 4 though.
I'm pretty sure, but okay. I mean, if it is, it's far enough out that
it's close to the not.
I mean, you gotta bear in mind that like to a certain extent, we also have to keep in mind like how the Spider-Man franchise, Sony films play a role in this because Mobius is still coming. And that will introduce vampires, which makes Blade a thing for sure.
Perfect.
And if the Sinister Six thing is going to be a thing, and the Venom 2 is going to be a thing on top of this, then how those may tie in to the future of the MCU can also be a thing, which would be outside of Spider-Man itself being announced. If they're tied in any way, which again, here's the crazy thing. The Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse film, as long as the multiverse is a thing, that would also be a part of the canon. Which kind of makes sense because like Catherine Hahn was Doc Ock in that joint. And that would be bananas to see her reprise that role in some way.
That'd be kind of cool.
In Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be bananas. Yeah, what if we don't see Vision till Fantastic Four? I see Fantastic Four.
No, I got Vision coming back in whatever the next ensemble movie is.
I think before that, because
first time we see him.
No, it definitely be before that. My question is like, who would? Since obviously that's not even announced. I don't unless you want to consider that to be Multiverse of Madness. But who would Vision go to? Because at this point, he wouldn't have any memories past Infinity War, technically, because that's where he died at. When everything came back, who would he necessarily go to probably try to process and gain all the knowledge back? To me, that would end up probably piecing together where. Tell me,
Shuri. He would go to Shuri.
That would be the one.
She would be the only person that's left on the planet that would be smart enough to help him in any way, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So he shows up in Black Panther 2.
Okay.
Black Panther 2, maybe.
Wakanda, just like straight through the wall.
Hey, Vibranium, he's gonna go back with it. That probably makes the most sense as of right now.
It does actually make the most sense right now.
Because at this point, he's got to figure out everything else. I mean, outside, like he died, so he's got to figure out at least what 6 years, 5 years, 5-6 years at this point.
5 years.
Worth of stuff he's got to pick
snap and when everybody comes back. So he's missing 5 years, but almost everybody else missed that same 5 years, including her. She got blipped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did show up on the. She did show up on the thing. So damn. But she's been filled by now. I would think she's probably been filled in. I mean, granted, it's only been a couple weeks since then, but that probably would be the most logical thing I would see. And then maybe after that, I could see him maybe like say if they do whatever West Coast Avengers, they do something like that. My man becomes like tries to build his own Avengers or something, and he tries to do that whole chairman route thing or something like that. I don't know.
How do they get him a personality back?
It would. I don't know. It would have to be something with Wanda, or either that, or they gonna give him like an emotion chip, like they did like Data in Star Trek or something like that.
Either Shuri, or it's gonna have to tie into Wanda and Strange or something to like put a personality in him, or Shuri will finagle something tech wise to some algorithm, something make him learn and gain his own personality or something like that.
He does have you're right, Cuddy. He does have the knowledge from day one. Because the faux vision showed him, like, you mind if I, like, he was like, as a carbon-based life form, like, they can't completely erase your memory. It's in there.
It's there
from you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
He gives it to him, and he realizes technically who he is and understands that he is the original one put back together. He flies off to go figure something out. But the issue is that while he does have the
previous knowledge,
he has the knowledge, but he doesn't have memories, is what he was saying. And he does not have a personality. Like, he has no emotion. You know what I mean? He's able to stop, he's able to think, but he doesn't have any emotion. Like, even Ultron had that. Like, Ultron was a super charismatic robot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Professor Hulk is around. And I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say that he created him. He was part of it, but even he wasn't able, like, he was there when Shuri was like, why didn't y'all just do this? And he was like,
because we didn't think about it.
Yeah. So, like, and she was the one that was working on him and working on separating him from the Mind Stone so that he could exist without the Mind Stone. So the fact that now he does exist without the Mind Stone, I would think he would be the one that he would go back to, because it is totally possible that just in case she made a copy of him, like his, you see what I'm saying, like personality somewhere, in case.
I can see that all day. Being a tech person, as smart as she is, this type of technology, you think you're not gonna copy and paste this on a backup hard drive somewhere?
Right.
No,
like,
wipe
just
that.
Like the fact
Wipe
that it was
that OS
so long while that was happening to separate him wasn't just the act of actually separating the stone from him, but it was like, I gotta back. This is the most complex being. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to back all of this up. He could be looking for Pepper.
It's possible. I don't think it'd be Pepper, but
I mean, he remembers being, like, he has to remember being Jarvis.
Right. Yeah.
You know
that's true.
So
it's in there.
He could in some manner.
You know what? He could be
go look for anybody.
I was saying he could go look for Tony, because thing is, technically, his memory or those visions that everything is going to end right there at Infinity War, and to his knowledge, Tony would technically still be alive.
No, I think that he has knowledge of what's been going on up to that point. Like, I think they have given him like a database up to that point. He didn't have any memories from before that, but I think that when they recreated him, like, all of what happened to the world in that time, I think he has that 5 years. I think he said what happened with Thanos. I think he knows all of that.
Okay.
I just don't think anything before that was open to him. You know what I'm saying? And so he was basically fed that information. So now he's all flying around. Again, he could be going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of, he might just be retracing his steps. And if he's doing that, he's going to end up in Wakanda. Like, that would be the first place he goes. That's the last place he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he goes back to Wakanda, meet Shuri, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Black Panther 2.
I'm with that one. I like
agree.
That one. Yeah.
Hey, that's the place you go to get healed. Like, look at Bucky. Hey, he went there. They got him. Got the
vibranium arm.
Got his vibranium arm. So
got a new name, White Wolf.
Hey, Marcus. Hey, pop that on this. Hey, Marcus. The show is called Spoiler Boys, bro.
And I mean, in the title, there's definitely a big in parentheses in capital letters, spoiler alert.
Yeah, Marcus. We talking spoilers. Yeah, I think definitely. If I had to put money on it, I would say Black Panther 2 is where he shows up.
I think that's solid.
I think that's the first time we see him is Black Panther 2. We don't know what's going on with him until then.
That's not too far out, and I think that'd be solid.
Yeah.
Now, Black Panther 2, though, again, that means Black Panther 2 probably takes place before the Multiverse of Madness. Because you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the first place he goes. If he goes there first, then he's already there. Because that dude's fast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he should be straight there. You don't see them keeping that big of a character gone that long. I mean, I don't know.
I think they could do that.
Hulk was gone for a minute. Thor was gone for a minute. Like, he wasn't in Civil War. Like, they
could do it.
That. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could do that.
Nah, they could do it. Especially they got all these new shows coming. You know, we got Miss Marvel coming. We got She-Hulk coming. We got Moon Knight coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got
what's that Moon Knight
other heroes and villains that they're introducing. So I could definitely see them doing that. Keep keeping them, you know, to the side for a minute while they bring these other people in.
The idea that we may not see Wanda again until the Multiverse of Madness, which is not until next year. You know what I'm saying? It seems like a lot. It's a year from now, but it's a lot. And so much is happening between now and then, movie-wise, that they could easily keep him away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, I did see that the two young actors that are playing Speed and Wiccan recently posted to their Instagram, like within like the last week, posted on their Instagrams, and the places where they were in England, where they are shooting the Multiverse of Madness. So having had Wanda at the end of this joint.
Yep.
And that's what I figured at the end.
Hear their voices, and she looked like she was getting ready to go 8. Like she
was about to ready to.
At the end of that joint, she's finna go somewhere, which means they are in fact somewhere.
And she's gonna go track him down and get him.
And
straight up.
She's about to pull him out of them. She's gonna pull him out of one of these universes.
Yep, she's gonna do whatever it takes to crack into the multiverse and go find her kids. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I do think that this is the Vision that they would have come back to Wanda, because the other Vision is gone.
Yeah, like, he's gone. He's just
that Vision is gone, and that's how it happened in the comic books. Like basically, the two of them, she didn't have. Now here's what happened in the comic books. They actually got a Vision from another timeline and laid the White Vision and a Green Vision down next to each other to basically have them
babies.
Yeah, no, to have babies.
What?
Would you lay one White Vision next to a Green Vision? It just seems like that's what
I don't understand how that adds up to that. Like,
hey, listen, I'm gonna just let him have it, dog.
Let him have it.
Wherever his mind went, I'm okay with that. My man cooped up in the hex right now. Just let him.
Like, we gotta populate. We gotta bring these kids back. We gotta figure this out.
Nah, they like used they was like a Vision from another like another timeline that they used to like get Vision back on track. But it was while he was the White Vision that Agatha revealed to Vision and Wanda that the kids weren't real and that they were figments of like they were like
Mephisto.
part of Mephisto. Mephisto, by the way, could still be a thing.
Could be. Not at this though.
I do think that I do think that Baron Mordo is probably going to play a role sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
He has to, leading into the multiverse.
Hoping we're going to see him, but
it would have been good. I still think there are some underlying things that need to be, you know, somebody needs to tell me where Vision got the bread to buy a house. Somebody needs to tell me where the money came from for Vision to buy a plot of land. Like, if you look at that letter that she had, that joint has a heart in it with a V. Like, oh, all right. Who planted that? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point could he have possibly given that to her? It would have had to have been
something that was left.
Infinity, like when they were sneaking off to each, you know what I'm saying, to meet with each other, and he was like, "Run away with me." You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. We don't gotta go back. Like, he was already trying to give up the superhero life. Like, I'm done with this.
Oh yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but again, my man's getting checks, and I don't know.
It's that Tony Stark money.
Yeah, it Stark money. That's all.
I mean, that's it right there. I don't know. Maybe Tony just say, "Hey, look, I know what it is you're trying to do before he died. Hey, he probably did use Bitcoin. Hey, when he was probably all trying that whole
GameStop all the way up. Like Vision was like, I'm about to buy
he
this.
Cashed out buying this house
and got him some money. Bought him a house in Westview, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. Mephisto was shown in Daredevil and Stained Glass. We'll see.
There's rumors, but
there have been rumors that Matt Murdock would show up possibly to defend Spider-Man as his lawyer. But technically, for what they have going on now, it almost makes more sense for She-Hulk to show up to do that because she's a lawyer, and they actually have already announced something with her. Vision definitely finessed account, bro. Like he definitely he definitely did something, man. Vision got the most hacking skills.
Oh yeah,
he definitely did something and bought some land, got a house, or he just went to Tony and was like, "Listen, bro."
I need that right there.
That's the war joint went down, bro. I had your back. The least you do
is give me a plot of land.
It might have been Pepper.
True.
Could have been. Pepper could have come some.
Yeah.
But I feel like Pepper wouldn't have done it until I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's tricky to me. Like the fact that he clearly bought that. It was like a gift.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To her. And clearly, I mean, I guess, obviously it happened before the snap, right? Because as the hex is going away, you can actually see that their homes and stuff are nowhere near as good looking and sunny as she makes them look. They are still ravaged by the aftermath of what the snap was. Like they're just getting things back. Like their lawns are garbage. Like
some of the houses were boarded up. Some of the houses were boarded up. Like
it's bad in their neighborhood. Like if you remember when she first went to the neighborhood, like when she walked past the pool was green. Like it was just like, unused. Like clearly this was a small town that was ravaged by what happened when the snapping took place. And they're basically it's only been
about a week since
they got it's only been like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So they're still kind of trying to get themselves together and get back to that. And so clearly that house was being built before the snap happened. So they were at it, or he had already started it while they was running off, visiting each other or something along those lines. So I'd assume Tony just was like, you know what, Vision, here. Take this, stick this in the Vision bank account, which means Wanda probably got a bank account she don't even know about.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
She took somebody's house. It was some land on the water, bro, that she was sitting in front of doing incantations, learning the dark hole, bro.
Hey, look, man, she built that joint.
I don't know. It's my ability. You know what? That was the experiment. That was the experiment. It's like, I think I got this part down and made the house.
So of all the things that she could build, she decided to build.
Decided to build this little small house.
That's a good time coming. Of all the things that she could do, she just decided to build her Thanos' shack.
Yep.
Build me a Thanos shack.
Yeah.
Out here on the water. I dig it. All right. Well, listen. Spoiler Boys is retired for 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
We back when you know it, though.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And we have to do this again and again and again and again. And so here's what's going to happen. Just like what happened with the beginning of this. There'll be 15-minute uploads of what is normally an hour discussion for us, just like this. This discussion goes to our Patreon. 15 minutes goes to MCU chat. If you're not already in MCU chat, make sure you hit that. Go to MCU chat. Throw that up there for the folks who are watching so they can get the links.
Got the links.
Follow us across our links. We are actually getting ready to go live in about a half an hour on Twitch playing some Diablo 3. Joined by our good friend Chris Lightning. Yeah, listen, Darcy did get the short end of the stick. I'll absolutely. But she's responsible for trapping Hayward.
Hey.
That one line she had. Have fun in jail. I was good with that.
Dip.
Have fun in jail. I'm gonna get low. Debriefs for suckers. I'm out. I'm not doing this. Yeah, like I'm not sticking around for this. I've had enough. I'm pretty sure she's gonna show up again. I think that she was popular enough for them to put her in this, and certainly her popularity You know what I'm saying? She's seen that
Whenever
boost
she can.
again. They gotta let her come back in some manner. So I'm expecting to see that. So we can ready to get out of here. We appreciate you all jumping in, tuning in to Spoiler Boys live with us this time. You know, maybe just maybe we might do this again at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. But if you want this good long discussion, Patreon. Y'all make sure y'all jump on it.
Get it.
Show us a little love. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to get ourselves prepped to go live on Twitch in a little bit. So we will be back to streaming shortly. We got about a half an hour before that happens. So with that, we are out. Toodles and loos.